Y'all know what time it is. You're listening to All Burgundy and Gold, everything powered by the urban sports scene and Fox Sports Radio 96.9 FM and 1340 AM, Hopewell, Virginia. I'm Wole, and I'm joined with my guys, George and Glen. The homie Mo will be joining us shortly. What's going on, fellas?
Nothing much, man. Somebody sent me pictures today of RFK, and just can't wait for it to be imploded. And the only two things I could think about was they're going to be the new home of the Washington Commanders, and sooner or later we'll get a WrestleMania in DC.
Oh, that's definitely could happen. What's going? But more importantly, it's a Super Bowl too.
Yeah, Super Bowl
That would be too. That'd be dope.
Yeah.
What's up, Cody? What's good, my guy? What's going on, George?
Feeling good. Joined the NBA playoffs, especially last night. Ready to talk about this because I've never been a big Hard Knocks guy. I never watched the show. But this upcoming season, you can bet your tail I'm going to try to watch all of it.
And yeah, George is what's going on? Hold on. What's going on, Paul? What is good?
Paul? What's up,
man? Is good. George George kind of went into it. But before we talk about what the news broke in terms of hard knocks, we got to knock out some particulars. Subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and other podcast platforms. Just search All Burgundy and Go Errrrything. Also tweet us at ABG_Errrrything. Hit us up on IG and TikTok at ABG_Errrrything. Also, if you have not, make sure you subscribe to our All Burgundy and Go Errrrything YouTube channel. Hit that red subscribe button. Also, like this video. If you feel real generous, hit us up with a super chat on YouTube, and we'll prioritize your comment. This episode is also being streamed live on the Urban Sports Scene X account. All right, it's time for our pregame. This is what we have on tap. Like George mentioned, we are going to discuss the Commanders being on HBO Hard Knocks. All right, it was announced that the NFC East will be featured on HBO's Hard Knocks in December. I'm gonna start with you, Glenn. Do you feel this is a good look for the Commanders?
I think it's a good look for the Commanders. I think it's also a good look for the NFC East. By December, if this team's going to be a playoff team or not, right? So you can you're either going to see turmoil on Hard Knocks, or you can see the love fest on Hard Knocks, right?
Yeah.
You can see so you're going to see either one or two things, but either way, it's going to be drama. And then it's going to be made for TV. So I think this is a good thing for the NFC East. To use a term again, we always like to see the fourth wall come down, right? We always like to see what's behind the scenes, what's taking place, the drama unfold. So I think it's going to be great for the NFC East. But let's be honest, the NFC East last year was the most talked about division, right? When you talked about the Philadelphia Eagles, you talked about the Washington Commanders. All right, you talked about even a little bit talked about the Dallas Cowboys.
You're always going to talk about Dallas. You're always going to talk about Dallas.
You're always going to talk about Dallas, right? Regardless of whether they win or not. So you're always going to talk about Dallas. So the NFC East was one of the most talked divisions last year. So why not bring it back this year? And if you look at what each team has added in the draft and how they built their teams up, you got Abdul Carter with the New York Giants, right? You have you got Russell Wilson over there with the New York Giants now. You got Dak Prescott coming back, right? You got Pickett over there with the Cowboys as well. So you got the Philadelphia Eagles who just won a Super Bowl, right? Who's reloaded a little bit. And then you have the Washington Commanders who have Jaden Daniels and added Deebo Samuels, added Jeremy Tunzel. So you got it's made for TV. So you got all the players in this division that will be talked about a lot. So to me, I think it's going to be great for the Commanders organization. I think it'll be great for the NFC East.
George.
The NFC East built the NFL. Without the NFC East, without the Cowboys-Redskins rivalry, without all the rivalries in the NFC East, the NFL is not what it was today. It isn't just the greatest division in the NFL. It's the greatest division in North American sports. The only thing that comes close is SEC football. The only thing. Maybe ACC basketball in its heyday. Maybe the Big East basketball in the 1980s. Nothing compares to the NFC East. Its fan bases, the intermixing of them, the fact that there are Giants and Eagles and Cowboys fans in DC, and there are Commanders fans in all those other locales, and Cowboys fans in all those other locales, and Giants fans. The rivalries of the NFC have littered the iconic moments of the NFL for the last 50, 60, 70 years, even 80 years. And you're talking about Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, Sunday Night Football. They can't get enough. If there are two NFC East teams that are any good, they're going to be on prime time. They're going to be on nationwide TV. If this isn't the greatest season of Hard Knocks, then I know then there can't ever be a great season of Hard Knocks. I mean, they ought to have the fans, they ought to have the content creators on YouTube like us and so many other people. They ought to have the radio shows. They ought to have everything because there is no division like it. This is tribalism in a way, and mostly positive, but sometimes negative. But this is tribalism in a way that you don't get in anything but college sports, except here. In the pros, you don't get anything like this. These are four fan bases that legitimately can't stand one another, that bust on each other at every opportunity, bring up everybody else's failures, everybody else's time they got over them. We still talk about things like the body bag game. We still talk about Clint Longley on Thanksgiving. We still talk about Washington beating the Dallas in the two NFC championship games. Philadelphia still talks about beating Dallas in championship games because it means more here than anywhere else. I can't wait for this. I can't wait to make fun of the other teams. I'm sure they're going to give it back to us. I can't wait for that either. Bring it on, all of it.
Hold on, read some comments. Let's see. The 54th said there is no better TV than NFC East football in December. No brainer for Hard Knocks with Washington, Philly. That is a big one right there, especially what happened in the postseason. Paul, no coincidence that we finished with 4 division games, and then the division is on Hard Knocks. Good point. Also, remember the NFC East won 4 straight Super Bowls. All right, so I think I'm gonna start with the 54th comment. I totally agree. Like there's storylines in this, and we're all like wrestling fans, so it's like there's a storyline. You know, you have one right there in the NFC Championship game where Washington was throttled by the Eagles, and Washington tried to improve themselves in the offseason with the draft and acquiring Deebo Samuels, Laramie Tunsil. So they've arguably gotten better. The Eagles, drafted well as normal. Got the kid from Bama, the linebacker. Is it from Bama or is it from Georgia? I think it's from Bama. Linebacker from Bama. They've gotten stronger. So that's the storyline right there, right? So you got a storyline there in terms of will Washington be able to get the revenge and all that trash talking that's going to occur throughout that process. You have the Dallas Cowboys, who I think they did a great job in the draft, to be honest with you. And they improved their team. I'm not going to talk about crash out because that's to be seen later. I don't know how that's going to work with that receiving core. So I know people are really gassed up about it, but that's still to be determined. He wants to be the number one. He wants to be a number one wide receiver. You're playing with CD Lamb. I don't know how that was going to work for him. I'm not going to be honest with you. So I think that's a storyline in his own right? To see how Pickens how he fits in Dallas, right? The Giants getting Abdul Carter and that defense, them being on TV, them being spotlighted. They got the kid from Maryland, the cornerback. I know he's a little chatty as well. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Campbell. Yeah, Bama line. That's what I'm thinking about. Yeah, Eagles did a good job with that draft pick. So I just think that in terms of and then it's the NFC East. You know what I mean? Like you got Cowboys, Commanders. That's weird to say. I like to say Cowboys, Redskins, but Cowboys, Commanders. You got the Eagles versus the Cowboys, was the big rivalry at the same time. So to your point, I do think it has just because of the history and the history, this should be arguably like the best Hard Knocks. But also but these teams got to do their part. So I would like every season, the NFL, it's not a guarantee that some of these teams are going to do what they did last year. That's how the NFL works, right? Sometimes the NFL is real tricky. But these teams have to do their part. They do their part. I do think this could be a magical Hard Knocks. You know what I'm saying? If all these teams do their part in December, even the Giants, to a certain extent, should be a better football team. Though I'm not the biggest Russell Wilson fan. I don't think he's the great. I think at this point in time in his career, he's now, he's not the Russell Wilson we've seen in the past. But I do think that the Giants do have do have some good pieces on defense. I do like what they have on defense. I think having Thibodeau outside of Carter, takes the pressure off of Thibodeau. I think he'll be a better football player for it. And then you got Neighbors. There's some, in terms of Hard Knocks, there are some things that is cool with even with the Giants, because of you got personalities within that that ball club. So to your point, George, I do agree with you that this could be the best Hard Knocks. Mo's here, so I'm gonna add Mo into the queue. Mo, how do you feel about the Commanders? Is it a good idea? You think it's a good move for the Commanders to be a Hard Knocks?
I think being that it's the in-season one,
yeah,
and that the fact that it's all the teams in the division, I think that went probably weighed in on that, and I think that was probably what pushed it over for many of the teams. I can't imagine the Giants wanting to do anything after their debacle.
True, that's a good point. I didn't think about that.
Outside of that, so to willingly just offer that, I don't think that was the case there. I think the idea of bringing the whole division together because of the success of two of the better programs in the division, which with the Commanders and Philly last year getting to the NFC Championship. Dallas being America's team, you can't ignore them, right? Jerry's always going to find a way to be in something that's going to sell. I mean, it's probably why they have the number one valuation in the NFL. You know what I mean? 10.2 billion. So, and then the Giants, the Commanders. Jaden Daniels was Offensive Rookie of the Year last year. Probably, people want to see if that vaunted sophomore jinx / is he going to do it again type deal. It's a lot. It's a lot to leave the viewer to want to continue to watch for. You know what I mean? Especially with the in-season one. Because they probably won't even start airing it until midway through the year, right?
Yeah.
Or toward the end of the year, because they want to be that far behind, and they don't want to bring any kind of things to anybody. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, no. So I think it goes a long way for all the teams a little bit. I think it's going to be very intriguing. You're bringing in 4 fan bases. Now you're going to have people on the outside that want to feel that same energy in the season. Then you got your normal Hard Knocks viewership and fans that are always going to tune in no matter what. You know what I mean? But you got one of the most heralded divisions in NFL history, and it's seeming with all the moves that were made all this offseason that everybody improved their team. You have the Super Bowl champions in there. You have the NFC runner-ups with a year 2 rookie. You have the Cowboys and Dak Prescott trying to bounce back with a big addition with George Pickens lately. You have the Giants and all of their, Russell Wilson moves and what they did this offseason and draft and not picking Shador, this, that, and the third. It's a lot. It's a lot of meat on the bone for any viewer, especially with the multitude of the teams together. So I think it's a great idea.
I do want to something that Jeremy said. I'm gonna pose it into a question. Jeremy, this is a good one. He says, I'm more cool with it now than when they wanted Ron Rivera's Commanders on Hard Knocks. So I have a question. So if this was a Ron Rivera team, would you mind them being on Hard Knocks? I'm gonna start with Glen and George. Glen,
yeah, man, I would because that we know that organization, that team was a cluster, right? You don't want a train wreck on there. You want an organization that will bring money. You want an organization that can promote what the league is looking for. Even when you had the Detroit Lions on there and 22, you knew what Dan Campbell was building, right? So Dad just came off a season where you saw the Detroit Lions going to that upward slope, right? So they knew things were being cleaned up. So even the Detroit Lions was a good fit for that year. Previous to the years, no, right? So with the Ron Rivera era, it was so much going on, man. You had lawsuits, you had scandals, you had people sleeping with people, you had people that was injured. It was so much going on in that house that it would have been more of a reality TV show.
Ratings,
right? Reality TV shows than anything else. I mean, dare not to say even when it was losing, you had players infighting, right? You had players infighting with each other, so it was not a good look. And then you always had Ron Rivera on I don't want to say you had him on being on the hot seat, So he had him on the hot seat. So those years wouldn't have been a good year for the Commanders to be on it, in my opinion. But I do want to say something. On the someone said I can't remember the chat. And it was NFL know what they're doing. They do because in December you had the Washington Commanders who played the Philadelphia Eagles twice in like 4 weeks, twice in 3 weeks with each other. So the schedule itself is NFL East teams playing each other. So you get to see the battle between the coaches and the mindset of the coaches. So I think that is genius by them. And I think Taj just said it. The NFL does know how to make money.
That's a solid point. Jesus Christ, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, somebody
think about how the scheduling aligns with.
It's perfect, actually.
Goodness.
It's actually perfect. It's perfect it's perfect. Actually,
because like 3 out of the 4 teams are playing 3 out of the 4 teams in the last 3 out of the 4 weeks.
It's perfect. They know they're doing it. Perfect. Yeah, coach, it's in December. It's all happening in December. It's going down. They're filming in December. George, same question. Like, what do you think would have happened? I'll just phrase it differently. What do you think would have happened if, say, Washington had this with Ron Rivera? What do you think?
Well, I'll be honest. When the Harris group brought the team, to me that was the year to have Hard Knocks in Washington, just because of the feel good factor. But I'm going to be a very evil person and say, you know why I would have wanted Ron Rivera's Commanders to be on Hard Knocks earlier? It would have been so embarrassing and such a train wreck that it would have got his butt out of here sooner, and he would have done less damage than what he did. Because that. Let's face it. It's rather amazing that we're sitting here with the Giants talking about Brian Daboll and Joe Shane after that Hard Knocks last year, because that exposed them, rightly or wrongly. That completely and utterly exposed them, and they were made to look like idiots, even though maybe some of it was out of context, whatever. When you look at some of the things Ron Rivera did, if we'd have had Hard Knocks and we could have seen what evidently came out a few weeks ago, like they're thinking behind drafting Emmanuel Forbes when Christian Gonzalez was on the board. You imagine if that was on Hard Knocks? They would have run him out of town the next day. He'd have been out of here. So, yeah, in a sick way, even though it would have been terribly embarrassing, yeah, I would have wanted Ron Rivera on there sooner, because then we would have got rid of Ron Rivera sooner. Simple as that. And I guess I think that's why we're seeing this whole division set up, because teams are worried about being embarrassed or looking bad during Hard Knocks, because to their credit, they're showing everything. They're not cleaning it necessarily up to make that particular team look good or sanitizing it. So, yeah, to get rid of Ron Rivera sooner, absolutely, I would have wanted him to be on Hard Knocks.
I love your pettiness. I love your pettiness, George. I love your pettiness. Go ahead, Mo.
You're sick.
I know. I love it. I love his pettiness.
For all the work that Ron Rivera did here, came in, had to deal with all that foolishness from the front office and all that. They made that man the lead. They put that man out in front, like he was the lieutenant.
He wasn't in front though.
They put that man out in the front of everything, every scandal,
And he made a whole lot of this
a name
to
change,
be that.
A name change, all the accusations of other silly acts by the former owner and all the other things that he was involved with, email chains and all of that. That man went through all of that.
Yeah, he was well compensated. He was well compensated.
He went through that quarterback kerfluckle.
He calls that. He calls some of that too.
Oh my goodness.
He calls some of that too.
Yeah.
He will never know peace because of Emmanuel Forbes over Christian Gonzalez.
They manipulated it. They played up his cancer thing. They played up his cancer situation. They put that out there. They wanted any good press.
They I thought I was cold-blooded, Mo. Dang. I mean, I thought I was cold-blooded, Glenn. Jeez.
Hey, come on, let's be honest. We call it Yo, his cancer situation, he came back. It was a feel-good story. Nothing else was good was going on with this team.
Trash Rob, but dang.
I'm not canceling his cancer factor.
No, I'm messing with you.
What I'm saying, but media knew how to cover with this team. It was a bad football team. And that's all they could talk about, man. He's still on there, and he's doing – hey, it was a circus.
Remember them throwing rocks against the wall during their division-winning season? That was something. Oh, God.
That man had to stomach a lot of turmoil in that as being the good soldier that he was behind that old owner, and y'all treating him like that.
54th today. Every coach
And
left Washington under Snyder
I
with
would
the
love to
damaged
have
reputation.
a fraction of that paycheck he cashed every 2 weeks to go.
Let me
Listen,
read this.
Just
Hold on,
give
read
me
this
a
real quick.
fifth of it.
George, get out of that man's pockets, man.
Let me read the 54th comment quick. He said every coach left Washington under Snyder with a damaged reputation, except Gibbs. Can only do what the what owners allow and pay for, but takes all the blame. So I'm saying this looks like the 54th agrees with Mo. I would say this about like that about that scenario. I kind of like I like George's thought process actually. I wasn't gonna go that route because I like the pettiness. I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of think I kind of wish it was on Hard Knocks because you get to see the poorly run franchise. It's almost like if you watch Hard Knocks with Jeff Fisher was and the Rams were on Hard Knocks and you were like, damn, this is what you running, bro. Like that, you like Jared Goff look like he ain't no football. Like I kind of wish.
Let me tell you why you guys don't really want this. If you guys wanted that and he gets fired early, there's no Jaden Daniels in Washington.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Okay. That's a fair
you know
point.
what I'm saying?
You
talking
have
about
to go
now. You're talking about now. You're doing God's plan.
You have to go through all that.
See, Mo's in the light. Mo's a Jedi. I'm a Sith. So that's how that works here.
There's no Jaden Daniels. There's no exuberance for the last 9 months. There's no NFC Championship in 33 years. There's none of that.
And we might have kept Chase Young, and we definitely didn't want that to happen.
And you might have kept Chase. You guys are always going to find a way to mention that guy.
No, not you guys. It's one guy. Not you guys, one guy.
Hey, be careful, George. That's all I'm saying. JB5 is here, man. Accept it. It had to happen that way, man.
All right. So, all right.
Yes.
So I'm gonna start with Mo first. So Mo, which obviously when Hard Knocks comes to town, comes to any team, there's always like a couple of dudes, and it doesn't have to be a player. It could be coaches, whoever. Who do you think is gonna steal the show of Hard Knocks for the Commanders?
For the Commanders.
I mean, you know what? I'm not gonna make it that easy. Other than Jaden, because Jaden's gonna be the spotlighted dude.
Of course. I think Frankie Louvu.
Okay, Frankie
Louvu. I think like if they followed him around and got to talking to him and we learned a little bit more about him, man, I think because like the energy that he brings to the team, the passion, right? The play, I'd like to get some insight on it. I think it'll help his notoriety also. I think he's been playing really good football the last 3 or 4 years, and he's really not getting the respect that he deserved. You know what I mean? Or even though he made All Pro 2 this year, right? Yeah. Like he's been good for a while, and it's like, he made All Pro 2, but like I don't know if he's nationally known the way he should be known. Like, and I think this is a big year for him coming up. Second year in the defense. He had 8 sacks last year, man. Like, the energy that he brings, the passion, like we spoke about. I like to see them follow him around. And I think people will be fascinated by his story and how he is.
He's known from jumping over the tush push.
Yeah.
Nationally, think about it. I'm not trying to be funny or joke about it.
True.
Oh,
he's known for jumping over the tush push.
And like he's a far better player than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a far better player than that.
Let's see. We got a couple of them. Paul has Dan Quinn, Lattimore. Jeremy has Trust. Trust gets some flowers. He's a character. Trust is a character. That is true. Storyline. They will follow. Oh, they will follow Debo Samuels. Yeah, I can see that too. Definitely.
I mean, he's already done a reality show kind of.
Yeah, he's on the list. He's definitely on the.
He probably jump into that again.
Yeah, he probably will. Hard Knocks would have revealed more of the turmoil of Snyder. Might have actually gotten him out sooner if he didn't hide on his boat during making the phone calls. It's true. All right, I'm gonna start. Hey, Glenn, I'm gonna go with you, bro. Like, who do you think would be the star?
I mean, Jeremy took mine was Tressway, but I got another one, man. And they're not a player though.
Cool.
Jaden Daniels' mama. I think his mom may steal the show. She will always be around, dog. She's
definitely gonna be profiled. She's definitely gonna be
profiled. I think she steals the show along with Tress.
I'm not mad at that. I could see that. I'm not. She's already highlighted now. She's she's done. She's been on the pivot and everything. So I definitely could see it. She's in that. Content creators would love to have her on, and even producers would love to have her, being showcased. So I can see that definitely.
I mean,
George,
if she does it well, it only helps her portfolio.
If she does it well, I agree.
If she does it well, it only helps her portfolio as as a budding NFL agent.
Yeah. If she does it well, I agree with that, bro. What is it? She stole my Jeremy. She stole my heart. Mama can get it.
I ain't disagreeing with Jeremy on that.
I see you.
Not at all.
You see how ungrateful y'all are for y'all star quarterback? Y'all want at his mama?
Look, I ain't saying nothing.
Hey, I'm in the right age group for it. I don't know what you're talking about, though. I'm in the right age group for it.
Hey, wrong show. We ain't passing or smashing. We ain't
What?
We ain't on Instagram. This ain't my man Salt. I give him credit, but go ahead.
What? Go ahead. You ain't lying. Go ahead. Hey, George, who would be the star, bro?
All right. Well, Paul certainly took my commander that I would pick, and it's Captain Crash Out Marshawn Lattimore, because I think he's a favorite to get in a fight with somebody at camp. Lattimore is going to be fighting somebody at camp, 100%. And he can be talking mess about him afterwards.
But luckily, it's not camp. It's December, so it ain't like camp.
Well, okay, then then they'll catch him fighting one of the wide receivers he's going up against, because it's going to happen, and that's fine. That's fine. You got to take the good with the bad and all that. I do have other candidates for some of the other teams. I don't know if we want to do those or not.
No, not just our team. We're not.
Just our team. Then Paul took mine, Marshawn Lattimore, 100%.
Yeah. All right. So for me,
I'm about to say, you got to answer.
Yeah, he got to answer. He said, "Yeah, you got to answer one.
You got to answer."
Oh yeah. For me, I'm going with Daryl Tapp, defensive D line coach for Washington. Folks gonna love him. They gonna love him. Like, if you haven't heard him, I'm mad. Like, the only thing that makes it, you would get the best version of him in training camp, but they're not going to be covered in training camp. But in practices, if they do focus on him, they're going to love him, because when I tell you he takes no sugar honey iced tea, he takes no sugar honey iced tea, and he's loud, and he doesn't. Like, he'll call you a bum if you playing like a bum. Like, it's one of them type. He one of them dudes. So, like, if I think he can be highlighted to a point where folks will be like, dang, all right, he's that type of person. You know what I mean? He's that type. And honestly, like, to most part, in terms of, like, just like we talk about how folks fell in love with Dan Campbell, his persona. Mm-hmm. I feel like people can fall in love with Daryl Tapp's persona if they focus on him.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? What's crazy?
Be a good way for him to get a head coaching job one day.
I'm about to say, he's gonna help promote him.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like something like that.
What's crazy? No one said Bobby Wagner. No one said Terry McLaurin. Nobody said.
It's because you gotta have. It's because it's a different type of
person, over the top personality.
Like I said, we all like, other than Mo, like we all like we watch wrestling. You gotta have like that charisma. Like, it's not like Terry is just a really.
Ain't nobody trying to follow Terry.
Terry, exactly. And Bobby Wagner is just a leader. It's not like Bobby Wagner. Yeah, I agree.
Bobby Wagner gonna be going to class, finishing up.
Going to Howard. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, don't want to.
Terry got some pregame speeches though. There might be a pregame address from Terry. That
I'll tell you who I want to. I tell you who I want to see them follow though. Yeah. I really want to see them follow Brian Robinson.
Yeah, he crashing out right now.
I'm gonna tell you why. In December, around this time of the year, you wouldn't know if he's making or breaking. If you look at his career, he usually make a break around December, so you wouldn't know what the pressure and see the pressure. Because let's be honest, besides, he has more pressure on him than Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels don't got that much pressure on him.
I know, but the running backs have a lot of pressure on them this year because they've done a lot to ensure the offensive line. So I want to see where Brian Robinson, his mindset, his movement, and how things, how can he flow? Of course, you got some offensive linemen who are jokesters too. So we'll see. You'll see that story.
Paul said he ain't playing. Paul, chill out, man. He ain't playing. He in December he ain't playing. Relax. Oh, I like this one too. The 54 said Reeves is a vocal leader in that locker room. Yeah, I can see that too.
I can see that.
I can see that special team. I can see him being featured too. I could definitely see that. Jeremy said, I hope B Rob shines. He's been catching a lot of strays. He has them. He has, man.
He has. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, I agree.
By that time, he can be a feel-good story if he does what he needs to do.
I mean, I feel like
last year of his contract too.
Yeah,
last year's contract.
Another one too. That's a good point too, Mo. He'll be featured. I mean, but again, it's not featured. He'll be showcased. Again, it's all about this type. And when you're doing a reality show, like Debo Samuel's a good one. You need its personality and also storyline to a point where whatever the storyline is going into that in December. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It could be somebody coming back from injury. It could be whatever. It could be so much. It could be Brian Robinson. Maybe Ryan Robinson Jr. is having a good stretch of games. It could be a storyline there, or it could be the smallest dude. It could be like a dude that's starting to contribute to the team that no one knows about. That, or it could be like the safety Owens. It could be somebody like him that you don't know. Like, and that's a thing too, also because of what's going on in the season. But if I had to if I had to go through the process of like thinking of who's going to be featured. Like somebody said this. I thought somebody like Cliff. All right, for instance, Cliff could be Cliff Kingsbury. Somebody said Cliff Kingsbury. To me, that's a good one. Because there's a storyline. Because that's a storyline too. And Cliff, like, all right, if he's having a good stretch of games, the thought process, say like a team fires their coach, and we're talking about calling somebody up. You know what I'm saying? Like for an interview or something like that. That could be a storyline in its own right. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, like, there are like individuals who could be followed, period. But yeah, Paul said we boring. Like, yeah, we got a lot of boring players, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. We do got a lot of boring players. Like,
we do. But that's the way they like it, though. That's the way they want their locker room. They want more team guys than me guys. And
I think Payne could be featured.
Who?
Because Payne.
Who?
Yeah, exactly. because of that purpose.
Right.
Because of that purpose. I know he could be featured. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not starting there. He's not going to start, bro. Stop doing this.
I love you, Paul. Yes.
Why do you think? Golly, like he's not going to start, dog. I'm not going to lie.
Everybody high on this dude, man.
He's good, but he ain't going. I think he's going to be solid. He's not going to start. Like,
well, that's a whole nother show because
that's a whole different. He's not.
If he makes the team, who leaves?
He's going to make the team.
Keep it on
He'll probably make the team. He'll probably, truth be told, be honest with you, bro. He'll probably be on the practice squad. And he'll start in the practice squad, and they'll try to find a way to keep him for him to make the team. Because I'm gonna say it again, and this is not a knock on him. Everybody thinks he's like this secret weapon, right? Like that no one knows about him. Do you know how good NFL scouting departments are? Like just because he had a bad situation in terms of being redshirt, NFL scouting departments are really good. Like if you're that good, they will still get you if you're that good.
If Brock Purdy can make it out of the 7th round,
Brock Purdy wasn't even that good in college. Like for real, like he plays with Kyle.
Oh, I know it.
He plays with Kyle.
I know it.
Like,
Purdy was pretty decent in college. Don't do that.
Nah, he played in Kyle.
Purdy got better every year.
No. You know what? He played with Kyle.
Don't do that.
He played with Kyle.
Hey, but can we be honest? The lightning in a bottle.
Look, thank you. He could be Marcus. He could be Marcus Mason. Marcus Mason was a really good running back in college, and he did well in preseason games.
Yeah,
we do this every year. Like, I'm gonna lie to y'all. We do this every year. We do this every year.
Yeah,
like truth be told, we do this every year. With a low round, we did it. What? Who do we do? What quarterback the dude for Ohio? Rest in peace. The dude from Hawaii.
Oh, Brennan. Yeah,
we did it with him too. We do this with everybody, bro. We do this with everybody. We do this. This is what this. That's what.
Nah, Cole Brennan. Hey, Cole Brennan was the man.
When you go there, I'm just telling. No, don't do that. He's playing college.
Don't do that.
Cole Brennan. Sorry, rest in peace. But I'm just saying, we do this every year.
Oh, Cole Brennan was that dude, man.
We do this every year, dog. We love
Cole Brennan was slinging that.
We love Diamond Interrupt story, bro. It's a fact. We do this every year, bro.
Honestly, Jeremy. That's all we had. That's all we've had most of the last 25 years.
We do this. Was it Marco Mitchell? It was Marco Mitchell. Marco Mitchell. We do this every year, bro. Like, what are we doing here, bro?
Jeremy Moreland. Or Jimmy Moreland.
Moreland.
Jimmy Moreland.
I do remember Moreland.
Yeah, we do this
Jimmy
every.
Moreland,
Bro,
man,
even
from JMU. Awesome for a year.
even young boy who we recently got who's local from Laurel. I mean from Pilati, right?
The running back.
Jared
Yeah,
Patterson.
we were gassing him up too. Folks don't act like we was gassing him up too.
Well, you know what? It's too bad they're
Bakari
not doing
Rambo,
training camp
yes.
because
Bakari Rambo's another one.
that's a good one,
That's
Jeremy.
a good one.
That's
We
a
do
real
this
good one.
every year, bro.
And see, that's the only thing bad about not having it in training camp is that we do love a storyline. It would be perfect.
Sam Howell's guilty too. We do this, bro.
Mm-hmm.
We do this. Just letting folks know, man. We do this. You know what I'm saying? Not going to play it off. Not going to play it off. So I'm gonna let George. Yeah, you can take the next. You can take the next question. Well, Glenn, you can take the next question if you have one.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, I can trickle it down. If you got
something.
No,
I do got one. How much? You know, with you got the stadium, you got everything else. How much do you think Josh Harris and his ownership group? You know, because we talk going to be featured on Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
And compared to Jerry Jones, because remember they covered all NFC East teams.
True.
So you'll see the owners. Which owner do we see the most? Josh Harris or Jerry Jones?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I would throw Magic in there, because Magic. If Magic is in town, Magic will be on there a lot because he's Magic.
Facts.
That's Wole's guy.
It's my guy. Oh, that's a good one. Between the two, I mean, Jerry looking real old. I don't think he won't be on TV like that. I'm gonna say Josh, and because of what George said with Magic, I think just having that ownership group as a whole, they're gonna probably be featured a little bit more. If you're talking about between the owners,
I think Philadelphia's.
Of course. I mean, if we're at between, of course, they're gonna be featured a lot. They're champions. They're gonna be featured a lot.
Yeah,
they're gonna be featured a lot.
Howie Roseman's probably gonna be featured a lot.
Yeah.
You won't ever see the Maras unless the Giants do really, really well. You won't ever see the Maras.
That's the man.
You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah,
Mr. Mara like to be killed, man.
Yeah, I mean it's all right. That's always you can always get one. You know what I'm saying? You can get one. So okay, it's okay to get one. I'm just saying, like we do. I'm saying as Commander fans, we do this every year. Like it'd be a late round. People like, oh, we got him. I can't believe it. And then that dude be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like it'd be like, oh, he'd be like, oh, dude. It's okay though. It's not like it's Luke McCaffrey or anything. Like so, it is.
You a jerk, man.
ain't like we gassed up Luke McCaffrey.
I knew exactly where you was going.
There we gassed up somebody. We gotta gas up somebody.
I got competition in the petty stakes here. Don't forget it.
George, don't worry. I'm as petty as they come. I claim my pettiness. Anthony, I mean the 54th said Anthony Lynn is a coach he definitely is a coach in the room. The team addressed the line and Tunsil in the first round pick, but many think that the 7th round running back is a solution to the run game. What woes? Use your clues. He's the. No, I don't think he's the answer, but I don't think. Are you trying to say he's the answer?
No, I think what the 54th is saying is that
it's the line though, right?
It's not the 7th round pick that's the answer. It's
the line. I agree. No. I totally agree with that. I definitely agree with that.
And since the 54th brought it up, you had a very good show with Candy Waller, and it felt like she was kind of making that point too, as well.
Yeah, it's the line. Definitely the line. Totally agree. I do think it's the line though.
Ooh, you know what? I like that because Anthony Lynn is one of those coaches that you can see being featured.
He could. I think he's so too. I think he'd definitely be featured.
Yeah,
I think he'd be featured. I think
Ken Norton will be. God, Ken Norton. He's got charisma and he's a heck of a character himself.
Yeah, I'm petty.
Oh, this dude, Jeremy dumb. Jeremy.
I'm very petty.
Hey, Jeremy, I saw him at Wegman together though.
You say what? What'd you say?
Jeremy's done. Have you ever seen Dax Mim and McCaffrey in the same room at the same time?
Oh, you said Jeremy. I'm just saying.
McCaffrey ain't stealing people's girlfriends.
All I'm going to say is McCaffrey's a better return than Dax. That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
And I will give him that. After the TikTok prank, put a microphone on Mikey. Yeah, Mikey could be good. Mikey's funny.
Yeah, good night, dog. Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all good night and love y'all, man.
Yeah.
I do it anyway. So
Mikey funny, dog. Mikey is funny. Mikey's very, very funny. But yeah, so like, but are you like, all right? So we can do it this route in terms. Who do you think? George, I'm gonna use you. We can actually on the other teams, but who do you think? Who's going to be a team that you feel like has the opportunity to have a better Hard Knock version than Washington? I'm gonna start with you, George. Between the NFC East, who could be better than Washington?
You know, actually, funny enough, I think I'm going to say the Giants because they're looked at as, they're definitely going to be the last place team, and the coach is on the hot seat, and the GM's on the hot seat. But they've got some very interesting players. Like you talk about potential show stealers, Dart, Jameis, Scattaboo, Abdul Carter are all on that list for me. And look, the Giants had a really good draft. They're getting healthy on the offensive line. Yeah. Ain't no reason the Giants can't take a big jump forward and surprise people.
No, you already won it with Jameis. You already won it with Jameis. That's the one. Jameis steals everybody's hearts on TV. I'm sorry. You're right. I forgot they had Jameis. Damn. Yeah, they gonna win. They win the Hard Knocks Bowl. They do. They got Jameis. I'm sorry. Like put a mic in front of Jameis. You gotta go.
Jameis in New York City.
A mic?
It's going to be nuts.
It's crazy, bro.
Have you ever seen him like out in the city? Like
like what?
What? Jameis is in a big city. He about to learn. He's probably gonna take acting classes.
I'm telling you, man.
It's all gonna be wholesome too. It's all gonna be wholesome.
It's gonna be wholesome. No, it's gonna be wholesome. He's just like the
Alabama kid in the big city.
It's gonna be crazy, bro.
Cameras just following him, explore New York's food, New York's this, New York's.
Yeah, they're gonna love him. Shoot, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. Jameis.
If I'm Jameis, I'm doing it immediately. Let me tell you why. Russell.
Oh, that's a good one. Shoot, Jared. And this Sierra on Hard Knocks. Oh, that's a good one.
Hey, Jeremy, you've been on fire tonight, boy.
You hitting. Jeremy, you hitting.
You see, all jokes aside, we'll probably see Jameis at Bible study, man. Or doing Bible study.
That too.
Or leading Bible. I think he'll be
leading Bible study.
Leading Bible study. That's how.
Leading Bible study.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Scattaboo and Dart are going to be chasing tail all over New York City.
Scattaboo is not. Okay, Scattaboo is going to be taking care of his business.
Storyline.
Yeah. 54th. I agree with 54th. The NFC East is going to be very competitive, man. I think it's going to be very competitive.
Good one too. What percentage? Just thought like what prediction? What percentage of coverage will be dictated to each team during Hard Knocks?
The easy answer is 25%.
No, 25%. It should be.
It's going to depend on the records, man. It's going to depend on the records coming into December.
That too. If I had to go off the rip, 25%. I agree with that. I do think that because there is some type of biasness. I think if the Cowboys are remotely decent down the stretch, I think they'll get to majority.
Oh yeah, if they're halfway decent down the stretch, the Cowboys are going to get more attention.
Just my opinion.
Or if it falls apart for anybody.
If it falls apart
for somebody, that could be.
Oh, because everybody likes negativity. Because everybody likes negativity. That too.
Oh, they will be on fire watch her in like week 6.
No, he's right. That's actually a good point.
Or Pickens crashing out after not getting the ball enough. You know that's coming.
I'm telling y'all, man, that's gonna definitely come.
You know that's gonna come, man. CeeDee Lamb's getting all them balls, dog.
That's my.
Dak is back too. He don't know Pickens. Sorry.
I thought Pickens wanted to be number 1, so that's why I kind of like be playing.
He's not number 1 in Dallas. We know.
And I know he doesn't. I know he doesn't take not getting targets like great.
Ole, that's what I don't understand.
Right? Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go.
I don't understand Pickens.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't understand. You say you want to be a number 1.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what's weird.
So you go to Dallas. Yeah, okay. Yeah. You're gonna go be a number 2 to CeeDee Lamb because CeeDee Lamb's gonna get his target share.
A lot of targets. He's like one of the most targeted receivers.
Because they play him in the slot.
They play him in the slot, exactly. They move him around. They're the one that move him around.
Man.
Exactly.
Right. That's Dak's dude.
That's his guy. Like when they last two played together, to finish the year, like Dak was like second in MVP voting, and CeeDee Lamb was leading the league in receiving yards.
I agree. I think it's weird. I think that's why I think he's going to crash out. He's going.
So you go over there. You say you don't want to get your contract done before the season, so you want to play out the season. It's your last year of your deal. If you get hurt, it's over with for free agency next year. If you get seriously hurt, right? So if you don't get the set, so if you don't, also then you're the number 2 receiver. Dak is going to try to get the ball out fast. He gets it to CD often. They got to throw you a couple of balls, and you don't separate well. That's always been the
you don't separate well. I agree.
You don't separate well. Everything has to be an incredible catch, woo-de-woo. Like, you cannot sustain a career that way. I agree. Right? So then you're going to be the second option in the offense where they throw the ball a lot, so you're going to get some looks. But, like, you was getting 110 targets a year, and you thought that was not enough. You're not getting that.
You're gonna get so much less than that, bro.
You're not getting that in Dallas.
Exactly.
Right? So you already are 50-50. Like, he's literally a 50-50 kind of guy. Like, I know. His catch rate is under 50% for his career. Like, targets and his receiving, like, he's had an 1,100-yard year, but, like, he's not, like, I don't get the hype about him. I don't think I never thought he was a wide receiver 1, even in Pittsburgh.
Me either. I don't even think so either. I think he's a really good 2. I think he'd be a really good. He's going
to be a really good 2, but, like, he can't dictate the passing game. He doesn't get open enough.
He doesn't.
Yeah, but he will get a lot of balls this year because not Washington. Dallas doesn't have a running back. Let's be honest. They're not going to be.
But they're not going to.
But they're going to run the ball.
They're going to try to run the ball because they're better off trying to run the ball. They're not going to throw. Dak ain't a quarterback that you want to go out there throwing like 50 times. To be real with you, they're gonna.
You want Jay to be ball control.
Yeah, they want to. So they're gonna. And the truth be told, even if they do, I'll be real with you. Even if they do throw the ball a lot, it's going to be the CD because they move CD Lamb around so much. Their game plan is to get him open. Like,
all Pickens does for them, right? All Pickens does for them.
It's a jump ball body, man.
He provides them another guy that can get some coverage.
50-50. Yeah, 50-50.
They can get some coverage so that CD Lamb is not the complete focus.
Facts.
So sometimes he got there. Depending on alignment and things like that. Because if CD starts getting in the slot, then you're going to have the third corner on him most of the time. Or if you bring your best corner in now, you know there's an outside mismatch with Pickens because it's the other guy, right? Like, things like that is what's going to allow Dallas to be. And then, like, they're going to run the ball, though. They got 3 running backs, and they drafted another one.
Yeah, Booker. He's on Booker. Right? Yeah, he's on Booker, yeah.
So, like, they got guys, they got bodies. Like, they got Javonte Williams, who's supposed to have been everything in Denver, and it didn't work out. He kept getting hurt.
They got Williams. Oh, he's talented.
They got
Carolina. Give him Carolina, right?
Yeah, Carolina. And then they got Miles Sanders as his backup. They have Miles, and then they got Jaden Blue from Texas. Well, I think it's the kid Blue from Texas, number 28 with the speed. They ran 4.2 something. So they're going to try to run the ball. Is all I'm saying, Glenn. I'm not saying they're building the team to run the ball.
This is a good question. I like that. So what has the better chance of becoming a dumpster fire, Pickens in Dallas or Caleb? I think Caleb and Ben's gonna be fine. I'm not worried about it because I think Ben and his offense will be fine. I think Pickens in Dallas is such a bad. It's such a to a point of not because of, like, to be real with you, it's not even because of the talent. It's just like Mo has broken it down perfectly, but it's because of the personality. What he wanted. He wants to be number 1. You're playing it with a dude that's a bona fide, an easy number 1. And it's not that he's a number 1 that you just say line up somewhere else and go get it. He's a number 1 that they game plan to get open. Like, they scheme to get open a lot. Like, they move him around to get open.
He's the chess piece.
Yeah, he's a chess piece. They move him in slot to go, I'm going to get you.
Here's another point that we didn't bring up neither, and I think this is the valid point to why Pickens shouldn't have went. You have a first-year head coach and a new offensive coordinator.
That's it.
You have a first-year head coach, right? And Brian Schottenheimer, right? Which he's not going to be calling offense. He might have some input because they hired, what's the dude name? Last name is, I think, Adams. Can't remember his first name. Like Clayton Adams or somebody.
He was the OC, wasn't he?
Schottenheimer was OC, but he hired an OC. So you don't, as the head coach, you don't hire an OC. You're going to call the plays.
Oh, so he doesn't want to call plays.
He doesn't want to call plays.
He doesn't want to call plays. So he got an OC, Clayton Adams,
But his offense,
OC.
though.
When you mentioned it, I thought you were saying it like they didn't want him to call plays. I was like,
No.
He doesn't want to call plays.
He doesn't want to call plays. So now you got a new OC, new head coach, and you think you're gonna be number one, who's already been working with CeeDee Lamb. It's not gonna happen, right? He knows what he has. He's gonna design it around the guy, and then you got Dak coming back. So again, it's those things. All that goes into the factor where Pickens is not gonna be the guy. So.
I mean, the only fault I don't give him is that he got traded. You know what I mean? But like, it's because of his behavior there. Like, you should have just stood out and stayed where you were at. They brought in DK. You were going to have Aaron Rodgers is coming clearly, right? Like, DK was going to give you so much relief because of his frame and his how his game completely contrasts yours.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I thought that
he gets separation.
Yeah,
he gets separation too.
I thought it would have been a better marriage for him. But like, I mean,
he has to stay in Pittsburgh. Staying in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I think he should have stayed in Pittsburgh. But like, I think he should have did what he was supposed to do to stay in Pittsburgh. That's what I think.
Hey, I agree with Jeremy. Mike Tomlin don't put up with knuckleheads too long, dog.
Yeah, I mean, he does. That's what I'm saying. Like, he should have fixed his attitude a long time ago.
I'm saying
if he'd have got it together in Pittsburgh, they wouldn't even trade it for DK.
Yeah, true.
They wouldn't even trade it for DK.
True.
They had to trade for DK because of how all the other stuff with him.
I will say this though too. Like, there's one thing about him is that he's consistent. And I mean by his behavior is consistent. He did this in college. So you can't be mad. Like, you can't be mad at him. I'm gonna be real with you. He showed you who he was. He showed you who he was. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, and if you decide to pick him up, you just decide to think you can change. And there's been stories that folks can change. I'm not saying that there hasn't been that, but he showed you who he was. So you decide to take the risk on it. You know what I mean? Like, I think Paul said it, like, his crash out behavior ain't worth it. Don't overshadow his talent.
He's not good enough.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying?
But he's not good enough.
Yeah, like to be that type. I agree. I totally agree.
He's not good enough.
You ain't AB. You ain't Randy Moss.
He's
you ain't
not
T.O.
good enough, man.
Yeah.
Like, he's a good NFL player, but he's not good enough.
Yeah,
like, I always have the argument about wide receiver ones, and that's why I have like such a criteria for wide receiver ones. Like, you have to be able to dictate coverage. You have to be able to beat coverage. Like, even though Terry has never had like one of these astronomical number of years, you watch this, you see it, and you're like, it's not him.
Yeah. Yeah.
With Pickens, it's him. I mean, being somebody that like really likes the wide receiver position and studied it and knows a lot about, man, I just watch him. I'm like, it's so undisciplined. And Glenn, you being a coach, right? Like, you being a coach, what drives you more crazy than that?
Yo, undisciplined players, though. Nothing.
Come on.
Undisciplined players and players who take plays off drive me crazy.
And he do both.
He do both. He does both.
Shannon Sharp say both of them. I mean, like,
both.
He do both, right? And then you got Jordan, like, to the point where like Jordan Lewis responded this offseason when they acquired him, said, "God, that's God's line," and that he ended up having to go to Jacksonville this year in free agency.
Yeah,
because if they would have been on the same team based off what happened on the field last year, like tugged at him or something like that.
Yeah,
awesome. Like, that's just unnecessary.
He bring problems, man.
Crash out, bro. I don't even call him by his name. I call him Crash Out.
Crash out, man.
Crash out, bro. Crash out.
I hope he get it together, man, because there's talent there for him to be like, he can be legitimate at what he does. You know what I mean?
And hold on. You know what? Mo, I know you got high hopes. If he couldn't get together with Mike Tomlin, who's a disciplinary coach, he's not going to get together with
I'll say this. Like, I don't want to put that, like, everybody, some people talk to people differently. Sometimes people respond better to a certain personality to it compared to a disciplinarian coach. So I'm not going to say that he can't, but I'm just going to say in terms of who he is, the issue is that he is who he is. That's my thing. Is like, he is who he is. Like,
you know, it's an element of this. Like, you have to think back to Jerry Jones's history. He likes players with a little bit of edge.
He does. That's a good point.
History of
T.O., Michael Irvin. That's true.
Like, you know,
so you think
history of acquiring players that have some issues. Like, that doesn't run him away. You know what I mean? And then we hear all the stories afterwards of how he serves a lot of these guys, like when they're going through the BS.
Yeah,
and why they always end up loving him and whatnot. Like they probably could be. He's probably hoping for one of those because he feels like the kid is talented, which I think the kid has talent. I don't think he's like when they talk about his talent though. My problem with people's valuation of him is like they put him on a higher tier than he is. Like he's good, but he's not like.
He's saying it because he don't want to. He don't want.
Oh, he don't want to go crazy. No. I don't want to. I don't think he's going. I don't think he's a go crazy kind of guy like all the time. You know what I mean? And like now with his targets going to be limited. Like I don't see that. Like he's going to show every once in a while.
Yeah, he's gonna have some highlight plays.
He's gonna have highlights every play. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that's not saying he's a good player, but like the way that people talk about Pickens, they talk about him like he's in that upper echelon, and I don't think he's ever.
Bro, I'm with you. I literally had like an argument. It was like a debate, not argument, with a homie of mine that like said Pickens can do just as much in terms of like than Cheetah in terms of like route running, and I was like, nah. Not even close.
Cheetah runs away from people.
Yeah, I said Cheetah. Even with that one, I said even with Cheetah's one trick is way more.
But Cheetah does everything though. Cheetah runs stop routes.
Yeah, I know.
Routes.
I know.
Run hitches.
I know. I was like, even if you want, I said even if you want to give Cheetah, even if you want to go that route with Cheetah, even if you wanted to go that route, I said that like it's still not even close. Like even if you want, Cheetah had. Go ahead.
Cheetah had 2 consecutive years in the last 3 years of 119 catches.
Go ahead, bro.
So it's not like it's all one trick pony. Like you don't get one trick pony 119 times. You know what I mean? He gets busy.
I agree.
Cheetah's different, man.
Facts.
Cheetah's a top 5 receiver in the league. Like depending on the year. Like 2 years ago, he was the number 1 receiver in the league.
Right.
I don't care what nobody said. 2 years ago, he was the best.
He was the best.
Mahomes,
he was the best.
He was the best.
He was the best receiver in the league. Yeah. And then last year, he had one of those years, you know,
injuries, everything,
and all the foolishness. Like, and he's going to be right back to Tyreek Hill this year.
Yeah, because Tua was out, and Tua was like,
he's going to be right back to Tyreek. We're going to be like 1,500, 1,600, 17. Yeah. Like, man, Tyreek a Hall of Famer.
By far.
He's a Hall of Famer. However people want to dice it up. So, like, man, Pickens is nowhere close to that conversation. Like,
I totally agree with you, bro.
Out of the go ahead.
No. I was gonna get George into the next, like the Commanders. You have a Commanders. Like
okay.
Commanders. Go ahead.
Who are the guys that you're worried about if they get too much camera time? Who are the guys that it might get to them a little bit if they get too much camera time?
I like that one. I can start. I can. I think I'm concerned with like Jaden. I am concerned with that. I'm concerned with Jaden. I think Jaden Temer is awesome. Don't get twisted, but I do think that I've seen this in the past. Even the most humble individual, once they get get more attention, they start to change a little bit. Not to say like it's gonna happen, but Jaden will be one that I'm concerned with. I'm not saying that I think he's going to act that way, but that would concern me if he got too much airtime, because I feel like even the most humble individual will tend to kind of like change up a little bit, because now it's like you become bigger than the team. And I like his thought process that he's part of the team. Like even though he's better, even though he's the best player on the team, I like his thought process of he's still part of the team. And we've seen in all sports, even the most humble football player or basketball player, they start off humble, like that kid humble, and then all of a sudden the attention starts to get to them more and more, and they don't have the same. I'll give you one. It's easy for me because the person gave him humble beginnings is basketball. Jimmy Butler wasn't Jimmy Butler that we see today. What Jimmy Butler started off as a hungry dude, and even when he started playing better basketball, then when he got to Miami and started to act, or even his end in Chicago and Minnesota, stuff in Minnesota, you saw Jimmy change. He started very humble though.
Yeah,
he started very, very humble. But
Antonio Brown started very humble.
Yeah, too.
Some kid from Central Michigan.
Yeah, so I'm just like,
and then it got to him and it lost.
Yeah, I'm just saying like it just depends. So that would be mine. That would be my only concern. But I know he's gonna get attention. He's the quarterback. He's Jay Daniels. And so
Jaden's mom will keep him in check. His mom will keep him in check, though.
That's a good one. She will. She puts hands on it. I know she puts hands on him. Go ahead.
Mine is Johnny Newton.
You concerned?
Good one.
I'm
why?
concerned.
That's a good question.
Why? I'm gonna tell you why. Because he's young.
Okay.
Right. Young guy. You having a decent much season. Now you're kind of essentially that guy. With Jonathan Allen gone. So now somebody's gonna have to assume that role of leadership on that front line. And I can see Johnny Newton taking, not in a bad way, I can see him taking some of this on his shoulders, saying, you know what, I'm the guy. Because we talk highly of him. And sometimes sometimes that could put more pressure on him than anything else. So I think a guy that could probably be added to him would probably be a Johnny Newton.
What you,
because he's trying to take over the D-line. Be that guy.
Like, what about you, Mo? Joy's a good question, though. Joy's a real good question, actually. Go ahead, Mo.
Somebody whose head to get big because of this?
Yeah, like gonna get big headed. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
That's a rough question.
It is. That's a tough one. I know, right?
Rough question. I mean, I'll just say Lattimore.
Lattimore?
I'll say Lattimore because he has some crash out behavior in him.
Yeah, Paul said the same thing. And he said Debo too. I think Debo's a good one too. I think
Debo's already been on TV, so
that's true. He's used to it though, right? He should be used to it.
I mean, I think
Debo's kind of Debo.
I think it happened already for Debo though in San Francisco.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. It has. It kind of has happened.
I think it happened already for him.
It has happened.
Teammates and boom boxes and
no, it has though. Facts. It
plus
has.
Debo's playing for a contract.
Yeah. It's that's a good point, Mo. It's happened for It's already happened for Debo already. I think it's already has happened for Debo. George, what's yours, man? You ain't say it. What's yours?
I was gonna say Paul took my answer with Debo, and Deluxe took my other answer I would have with Deron Payne. Okay. I think anybody that's kind of their status for next year is questionable. The Hard Knocks might show that, might catch them in a bad light, or might put them in some kind of way towards staying or leaving or whatever. That would be that. I think anybody whose status is kind of up in the air for next year.
I like it. Todd's got a question for us. Like, I like this, man. I'm gonna start with you, Glenn. Who could turn into the diva? He said Amos. Amos, the cornerback from. Who you think's gonna be the diva?
The diva. That's good. That's a good question.
The diva. That's a good one. That's
because this organization prides itself for not having any.
Everybody got a diva though.
Yeah, everybody has. But I mean,
after hearing Dante Fowler talk, I know he was a diva. But go ahead.
Everybody does have a diva on the team. I think.
You say he coming in. Start. I can see him trying to. Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna say Mikey.
Mikey? Really? Okay.
I think Mikey.
You know what?
Mikey could be the diva because again, he played well. He's doing well. This TikTok thing is blowing up. You know, his head may be getting a little bit up there. So I'm gonna say Mikey. It gotta be one of the skill players, either corner or receiver, because linemen never are divas.
He said he's popping off on social media, like he's like becoming popular.
No. It's a TikTok where he calls people and say good night, man. It is a good night. My wife showed it to me a couple of weeks about the other night, but then I saw Mikey's today. You call your boys and you tell them, you know what, man, good night, man, I love you. And see what they.
My man, cool. That's what I'm talking about.
And see what they say. Well, you gotta watch it. I play that. Cool. I play that when we get up the air, man. So.
My man, cool. That's what I'm saying. Mike, he good people. Hey, what about yours, Mo? What about yours, Mo? I'll start with you.
Whose head to get too big?
Yeah, a diva, like diva. Like who go a diva mentality.
A diva.
It's already Lattimore.
I think. Yo, I like that one. I like that one, Jeremy. I kind of like that one a lot.
A diva.
You know what? It don't even gotta. You know what? It doesn't even have to be a player. It could be both. It don't have to be a player.
A diva on the Commanders. A diva.
Detention start like detention, like they got that. I mean, I think you got me.
That's a rough question, man.
It is though. It is. Let me put with Jeremy.
I got a good one for you.
Jeremy got Joe Witt Jr.
That's an interesting one.
I think it's a good one. Paul says Cliff. I can see that. Can definitely see Cliff.
I could, yes.
I can definitely see Cliff.
I was trying to stay away
I
from
got
Cliff.
one for
I know.
you.
Cliff, though, I can
What
see
about
it.
Laramie Tunsil?
I was trying to stay away from Laramie too, man. I was trying to stay away. Like that's how I was like, I don't know. Laramie gonna be cool, man.
I think Larry gonna be cool.
Laramie gonna be cool. Don't do
You
that
hope
to
so,
Laramie.
but remember,
the
he's
Cliff
had some
answer is great because
issues.
Cliff,
He's had some episodes, and he's going to be he's kind of playing for a contract too. And he's going to be the left tackle, and he's basically slotted in there.
Jeremy, you know me and you, we vibe the same thought process when it comes to Joe Witt Jr. So I ain't gonna even say anything.
hey,
we vibe the same.
That's only if the defense. That's only if the defense doing well. Because if the defense ain't doing well, we're not even seeing Witt.
I'm just saying, like, all I'm saying is, this dude, like, we know, like, he do a lot of talking.
Jeremy and Wole have about had enough of Joe Witt already.
He done a lot of talking. That's what I'm saying. Like, I look, I'm gonna tell you why. Like he got diva. He do got a diva mentality because, to me, like anything, if you're gonna talk, that means you doing it.
Yeah, back it up.
Like you doing it. Like I'm not talking about being 15, 16, 7. Like you doing, you top 10. If you talking that talk, you doing it. If you ain't leading in something, if you ain't leading in picks and turnovers, you ain't leading in third down to fit, like third down stops, you ain't leading in none of that. If you talk it, you gotta do it. All that rah-rah talk, it's the same thing we talk when folks talk about Eric Bieniemy. When he do all that talking and your offense is your quarterback getting sacked and whatever, it's good talk. It's good talk. But you ain't proving it.
Witt has more of an excuse than Bieniemy had because they didn't have a lot of talent on defense.
What's the excuse? I'm gonna keep saying that. I'm gonna keep telling y'all, like, y'all, we can keep saying they don't got a lot of talent. They had 2 Alabama dudes in the middle, like they first rounders. No, don't do that because I'm telling you.
I already explained to you on that one, so
no,
I don't need to go over why.
Because the whole time I've seen the Dallas Cowboys with a crappy defense, and the dude from Tampa come in there and make their defense better. The dude, I think what's this guy from Tampa? I think he passed away. Maybe he didn't pass away. I think it's his underling.
You know about Monty Kiffin?
Yeah, Mike. Who's under Monty Kiffin? Who's after Mike? Who's under Monty Kiffin?
Oh.
So there's somebody who came to Dallas and improved their defense. Dan Quinn came to Dallas and improved their defense, which was a bad defense at the time. Greg Williams, Washington had the worst defense. Greg Williams came there and turned Washington's defense around. No one ever says, well, they didn't have talent. They didn't have talent. As a fan, they didn't have talent that year. They did. Antonio Pierce was a freaking.
They flipped it in year 1, though.
They flipped in year 1.
They flipped it in year 1.
But the third from last place.
You're right about Greg Williams.
From last place to second. From last place.
Well, hold on. Greg Williams had Sean Taylor, didn't he?
He barely started. He started like the 5th game of the season, dog. And they were already shutting teams down. Sean Taylor wasn't an everyday starter. Like, he had to earn his way to be a starter.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
All I'm telling you. Wasn't an everyday starter.
He had to earn his way to be a starter. Because telling y'all, like, LeVar was out for the year. We moved Antonio Pierce, who everyone knows now was the special teamer. He moved Antonio Pierce to middle linebacker. No one knew about Antonio Pierce. He moved Antonio Pierce to middle linebacker.
But that's when you have a good coach, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to hear that's my point. Like, I don't want to hear, like, when people say, like, you don't have this, you don't have. That's true. Like, you don't have everything, but there are dudes I'm not saying you gotta be the best defense in the world, but you're not giving up 55 points.
No, but you also got to be able to make adjustments and not make adjustments, but you also got to know what guys fit where, right? Yeah. And I think sometimes we didn't do the adjustments that we needed in order to stop the runs.
He had great defensive talent. All right, let me name you what they had. I think they had Wynn, who was a journeyman.
92
on their D-line. Their D-line was trash, like in terms of talent, trash. So they made Warwick Holman, who was god awful as a linebacker for real. Warwick Holman. Lamar Marshall was an undrafted player. Like, I can go on about who he had on his squad, and made that. Ryan Clark again was a journeyman. No one knew who Ryan Clark was. He played cornerback. He moved him to safety. No one knew who Ryan Clark was. He made Ryan Clark into a household name. That's what I'm saying. Like, I say talent, but the same teams. Ryan Clark was getting cut. The same teams that picked up same teams that had opportunity to pick these dudes up. He picked them up and made names for them. That's why you know some of them dudes. That's what I'm saying. Like, my point is, he made these dudes. That's Greg and his offense. Lindsey, that team, they made these dudes. Because if we talk about typecasting players, these players wouldn't even make teams. And they started. That's all I'm saying. That's the difference with Greg Williams. Like a kid, like I'll give you an example. A kid like Tyler Owens, who plays safety and does it and barely plays on for Washington, plays special teams, whatever. Greg Williams will put him on. He'll put him on the defense, and I guarantee Tyler Owens makes plays with Greg Williams.
Well, because again, one
that's how Greg Williams coaches. That's how he thinks.
But you believe in the player, you give him an opportunity to shine, and then you coach him up. And I think that's what Greg Williams does.
Well,
and not to mention, that's not to mention you give them a little money in their pocket too. Let's be honest.
They had Sean Springs and his first year. They had Sean Springs and they had Carlos. Not Carlos. Sorry, it was Carlos. It was Carlos.
I think it was Carlos.
It was Carlos. Yeah, Sean Springs. Carlos. They drafted Carlos. I know they had Sean Springs. I'm not sure they had Carlos. Not sure they had Carlos. But you talking about Ryan Clark?
Joe Witt.
You talking about Ryan?
What you're saying is Joe Witt don't have an excuse, and if it ain't better, and if it ain't a lot better this year, you want it better.
And the only reason, again, like I don't want to hear it smooth. Thank you. It was smooth. It was smooth. Springs. It started off smooth. All I'm saying is like the Ryan Clark again. You don't know who Ryan Clark. Ryan Clark was with the Giants before he came to watch. They cut him. That's all I'm saying. You like look Ryan Clark was struggling to make an NFL roster. Greg Williams identified him, said you're gonna be the starting safety. You were a cornerback. So what I'm saying is that if you're a defensive coordinator, if you're a genius, if you're good at this, because there's levels to it, right? There's levels to it. If you a dude and you know your personnel, you know who can do what, you're not scared to make certain moves. Like if I feel like this player is better at this position than that player, I'm gonna play him and I'm gonna showcase his talent and make him play a certain way.
But it boils down to one thing though, and this is what make good coaches. Great coaches.
They had one of those. That's after year. I'm talking about year one. They didn't have all three of them in year one. Year one, we look up the team in year one. When he came from year one, year two, the defense already established. So now the defense is what it is. Year one, Marcus Washington. Yeah, they had Mark. They signed Marcus Washington. That's the one good one, Marcus Washington.
Greg Williams hold people accountable.
Huh? Yeah.
Greg Williams hold people accountable.
Yeah.
And we have not seen Joe Witt Jr. hold people accountable. I mean, what it is. And that if you want to make teams great, a team's good. Dan Quinn does it. Mike Tomlin does it. Good coaches do it. They hold their players accountable. And we haven't seen Joe hold anybody on the defense accountable, whether it's a defensive line fault, whether it's a safety, whatever case it be. So
that's what my man Telly. But yeah, I like that question, George. That was a good one, bro. I ain't gonna hold you about who could be a D, like who. Like I had to think about that. Like who are you worried about? And also I like that question too. I think that was that Taj? Who was that other question? So all in all, like Greg Williams said, like, thank you. This is what I'm talking about. Yeah. Thank you. Cornelius and Joseph and a journeyman. The D tackle was like Cornelius Griffin was like, okay, when he came, like, but when he came, it wasn't like he was a stud. You put it like this. Payne and Allen are better than Cornelius Williams and Salavea. No lies told.
Oh man.
No lies told.
Yeah.
No lies told.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all like Frankie Louvu? I mean, Frankie Louvu ain't as bad as some linebackers. Is he better than Lamar? Is he better than Lamar Marshall? Yes, he is. Is he better than Warwick Holman? Yes, he is. Marcus Washington, we can make that argument, but I would say he had a better year than Marcus Washington his first year. Because I think Frank Lou was all pro.
Yeah.
Marcus Washington wasn't all pro his rookie year, his first year in Washington. He wasn't all pro. So what we doing here, man? So I'm telling you, what we doing here? One had scheme. His scheme was better. That's what it is. His scheme was better. He knew his scheme was better.
But you know what? Scheme is only as effective as your players to play it.
Yeah, he coached his guys up to play his scheme. 110%. 110%. So that's all I'm saying. So Joe Witt, I can definitely see Joe Witt being that guy talking on Hard Knocks on some diva stuff. And then his defense is like I'm like, dude, show me. I hope in December his defense is where his mouth is at.
Well, by December we should already know.
You know what I'm saying? What is he's Dan Quinn's scheme? and again, like that scheme don't stop the run. Hasn't the last couple years. I know that much. And my line there, the last 2 years, does that scheme stop the run? Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
We're gonna have better defensive ends this year. Hopefully.
Stop the run though. I mean, they had stop the run. Still got to stop the run. Something about that scheme that stop the run.
Deron Payne and Johnny, come on. We need you. Especially Deron Payne.
Deron Payne and Kinlaw. Johnny clearly is not
ain't starting. Exactly. The money don't.
Now
The money don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I think though?
What's up?
I think Johnny should get some rotation at that end for run support.
Yeah, they should. I like that.
I like
that. He said, "Tell you the offense can control the clock or put touchdowns on the board consistently. That helps the defense tremendously." Agreed. Obviously. The problem is you got to get off the field on third downs. That's a problem. Was last year's defense now part of 12 wins? I thought the offense was more part of the wins than the defense. I mean,
they were part of it. They were also part of making Jaden have to do all what he did in the fourth quarter.
I feel like if you don't have Jaden in that offense, like I don't know, like when you saw the Cincinnati Bengals win, that was more offense. They play well against Chicago. I mean, they play well against Chicago. I mean, they have a couple wins. I mean, you have to be a bad team. Put it this way, you have to be a horrible team for you to lose all your games because of your defense. Washington has an offense, so therefore, I don't think their defense could ever hinder their offense. And the way they play football and the way they go for it on fourth down, they're so ultra aggressive and they were good on fourth downs. They did so many things that they kind of helped their defense, to be real with you, to be honest with you. Like the Detroit Lions game, they got a bunch of turnovers, but I would say if the Lions decided to run the football, we don't win that game against Detroit.
Oh, we all know that.
We give.
Ben Johnson got scared.
You know what I'm saying? We watched that. Everybody, if you watch the game, you can honestly say to yourself, like, watching that game, like, why not get the ball to Gibbs every time you can?
Every time. They got down and Ben Johnson didn't know what to do.
Yeah. Okay, use your argument if it was all Greg, other than playing with the high octane offense in New Orleans, what has he done? He's always had a good defense. He had a good defense in Tennessee. Look at the track record. Greg was always been good. Tennessee, he was good. His defense was good there. He's Washington, obviously. Everywhere Greg's been, actually, he won Super Bowl. He changed the Saints in terms. They made them that year. They led the league in turnovers that year. They led the league in turnovers. Greg has always improved the defense, bro. I'm sorry.
I mean, your team will lead the league in turnovers too. Where you're getting paid for every turnover. I mean, it was incentive. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny.
But what is that though? What is that though?
It was incentive based.
What's wrong with that though? That means you doing your job. Like I don't get like you motivating your players, right? What is your job as a coach?
You motivating your players.
What are we doing?
Motivating your players. I'm not playing.
What are we doing?
I'm not managing you. Motivating players.
Like that's not a problem. That's to me. If I know how to get talent out of my players, I'm gonna do what I need to do to get talent out of my players.
Yeah.
The bounty thing had no problem with. I had no problem with it. Look.
I had no problem with Bounty Gate neither.
I had no issue don't get Bounty Gate. Y'all can get that one up to somebody else. Jerry, if you had a time machine, which do you tackle? Which you have traded instead of time? Payne? Oh, I would have traded Payne. I know what Mo said. I trade Payne now. I got you.
I was gonna say I'll yield my time to Mo. Mo
yeah. Go ahead, Mo. Anybody. Go ahead, Mo. Go for it, Brody. Go ahead. There you go.
Deron Payne is the only obvious answer.
Defense lost the Steelers and the Cowboys. Yeah, sure did. They lost that one. We had more sacks than Philly and Pittsburgh. You can have sacks. You might get off the field and you get them. And we all know if you don't stop the run in the NFL, your defense ain't nothing. I'm sorry. You gotta stop. It starts with stopping the run. I don't care. Sacks is like a whatever. Like you get pressure. Like if you can get pressure, that's fine. All right, you said that we have more sacks. Them defenses far better than Washington, though. Those two defenses you mentioned are far better than Washington.
Like I said, Philly, we gave up 7 rushing touchdowns in a championship game.
Yeah.
That's one scarlet letter that's never going away.
All right, y'all. Well, we about to close the show out. Appreciate everybody for pulling up, man, with us. This has been dope, man. Tell you, man. Appreciate you, homie. You know I always do, man. Glad you came to join us, bro. Jeremy, Paul, who else? Taj, Deluxe. I know I'm at
the 54th.
54th. Always appreciate you. That's that it.
Coach was in the night.
Coach, my man, Coach.
Jeremy.
You know what I'm saying? Cody. I got Jeremy. I got Jeremy. Yeah, Jeremy. Appreciate y'all, man. Y'all the real MVPs. Truly appreciate y'all. Anyway, man. Again, make sure you pull up with us on next week, 9:30. You know, we here the same time, same bat time, same bat channel. Anyway, you've been listening to All Burgundy and Go Everything for ages. You dig? Deuce says we are out.